I got Coach Randy Bills with me back again from Battlefield High School off a really big win against our rival Patriot. Congratulations, Coach, and thanks for coming back on.
Thank you. No problem. Thanks for having me. I want to say, to all the Patriot players and coaches, you guys had a phenomenal season. The seniors, the three seniors that are there left their mark on that program. It's something that they'll look back at and be proud of. Right now I know how they feel, been there, but again, hats off to them for an amazing season.
Yeah, what a great finish, unbelievable finish. So, I started this podcast series, and I think you probably caught part of it. I had a coaches panel, and
Yep.
we talk every few weeks. It was great, and it just so happened two of the coaches I had on there were Sherman Rivers and Carlos Poindexter. So here I am. We are moving this thing to a crescendo. I don't know what the saying is, but it's I got two undefeated teams moving towards this, and on collision course, this is going to be great. And there's this skunk at the garden party, and it's brought in there by Coach Randy Bills, who's from my high school. Really my whole story. But Coach, I couldn't be happier for you. I still don't think it's necessarily fair to either team to have to play each other for the fifth time before the state final. But I guess the good news is one of you guys were sure to go to the state final, and it's going to be Battlefield.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, obviously we're in the same conference, so we're going to play those two times. Then in the district finals, being the two best teams, the region, there's some seeding, a little seeding that goes into that. But, for us to meet in the state semis again, VHSL, I mean, we put it out there, and hopefully they'll make some changes going forward, to allow, I don't know, just put everybody into one region and let's have some fun.
Yeah, there's a way we can structure a tournament. So I don't think it's fair. I've never seen tournaments. They almost always, in any sport across the world, they always try to separate folks from from the same district or conference in a larger tournament. It's so easy to do.
Correct.
But anyway, tonight's about Battlefield, not about VHSL. Well, let's go back to the game. All of us have seen the ending, which was an unbelievable minute. People are going to talk about the referees, the calls. At the end of the day, you hit some big shots and you had a big stop, and that's just the way it is. We have to accept whatever else happened. But right. I didn't hear. I read the article in the newspaper, but I didn't watch the rest of the game. I know it was kind of back and forth, and they had a big lead in the first half. Yep. And I think you guys almost maybe took a 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. So why don't you take us through the game?
Yeah. So, I mean, we came out, our goal in the beginning of the game was to come out with some energy, which we did. I think we were leading by one at the end of the first quarter. And then our offense went stagnant and theirs did not. I think it was 20-5 in that quarter, capped off by, I think it was Nasir in the left corner right in front of our bench as the buzzer was going off to go into halftime and to put them up by 11. So we talked about, a couple adjustments that we made at halftime, reiterated the keys that we had for the beginning of the game, both on offense and defense. And then in the third quarter, I think we cut it to 5 or 6 going into the third quarter or going into the fourth quarter. And when we were talking to the guys, I explained to them, not only did we cut the lead basically in half, but Red Nation was quiet. And for them, I mean, their student section in there, and you've been there with the Potomac game, it's deafening in there. And, for them to be quiet for that little moment in time, it was like, all right, maybe this is that chance now. And then the fourth quarter was a battle back and forth. Everybody wants to win. So it's diving for loose balls, box outs are a little bit harder. The pressure mounts each minute that goes off that clock on free throws. We get up by, I think it was 4 or 5. They come down and hit an and one, and then we come down and hit a shot. They come down and hit a 3. And then it was 52-51. I think it was Ackerman. Yeah, Mike passed it into Jay Randall. Chase Nelson went down to double him, and I had flashbacks of last year when we played Potomac round of the region tournament where a kid helped off of, and Anthony, I think it's Anthony Williams, number 24, hit a three. And of course, Mike does it again. And I was like, this is not happening again. Like that was in my head. So then we came down, got a charge call on us. That kind of deflated a little bit, but again, we're still like, amped up. Get a jump ball call, and then we got the ball back. Got some good movement on offense, and then the two guys that had turnovers at the end of the first game that we had when we played Patriot the first time, Hassan Hamad dribble penetrated, drew the defense, and kicked it out to Bryce, and Bryce hit the shot that everybody in Nova heard. And then again, still 10 seconds to go, so now your heart is like pumping. Don't foul. We know Nasir's getting the ball. We know he's getting the ball. And he goes down, and I think from the videos, because at that moment, 100 things are going through your head. I think in the video, he went up and it looked like he lost the ball, because I don't see my guy swiping, because Bryce's both of his hands are up in the air. So it looks like he just lost it. And then, Bryce secured it, and, and we won.
Yeah, the guy, I noticed you subbed, the guy made the pass with the knee brace. Because he made the pass.
Yeah.
Your 3-pointer. I noticed you subbed him in after the held ball. And then he comes in and says, was he in foul trouble? Is that why he was on the bench?
No, we just had an offensive defensive rotation that late, in that moment, you know what I mean? Like you need your guys that are gonna attack the basket, draw the defense. And, we talked about taking the first available shot, and that's what it was.
Well, first of all, it was a great shot. I don't even know the kid's a great shooter, but the ball was not. It didn't look like it was hit straight, and his follow through was so nice. He still went through. And then what I loved about it, he went down the court, made a tremendous defensive play, and I think he got the rebound as well. Yes,
and then he held it. And then I know Chase like hugged him as well, but I looked up at the clock and I saw 2.8. So I'm assuming, the foul is happening. I'm looking down on our side. I'm like, all right, he's got to hit these free throws. We got a timeout left. And then I looked back at the clock and it said 0-0-0. And I was like, we just won this game. Yeah. Like it's like time froze, and I didn't know what was really happening. You know what I mean? And, yeah.
It was tough. I mean, I love the scene of your crowd rushed onto the court with the kids. It's great, and then you see the other side. It's just devastating. I didn't love seeing that. It's you can feel the hurt. Obviously, someone has to win, someone has to lose. But it was just great. It was such a great last minute. I posted it, and I didn't know if I should, because I'm like, man, Coach Sherman's got to go on Facebook and see this thing. But it was such an amazing. I said, look, this. I'm supposed to be media now. I gotta post this. It was such a great video. But it was well done, Coach. You did a great job. And as a coach, you just try to play the percentages and give yourself the best chance to win and give your kids belief. And the kids kept playing. Like again, I can't say enough about the stop that he made. He just made a 3-pointer. He didn't even celebrate. Some of the other kids were kind of celebrating. He went way down.
We're all yelling at him, get back, get back.
Exactly. But he made such a great defensive play. So, So anyway, you got to put that game behind you, right, Coach? And now, and now the prize is Hayfield. And
correct.
When I'm looking at you this right now, you guys have a huge win on the road against Manchester.
Yep. And
you got a huge win on the road in a very hostile environment against Patriot, even though you have great fans that you brought over as well. You're kind of playing with house money now. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be in the state championship every year, so you want to win it when you get there.
Correct.
But your team has got to be playing with I want to say a reckless abandon, but at least they're going to be pretty positive going into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tuesday practice was nice and light, just kind of, in living in the moment and enjoying that moment, knowing that some of the things that we have to practice, we can carry over from some of the previous couple games that we've played. There's some fine tuning that needs to happen, but we didn't need 3 full days, so it was nice to be able to just like experience that with the guys. Obviously we've fought hard throughout this entire year to be there, and these guys have have been in practice just as much as everybody else has, and now it's the hard work is paying off, and we're ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many buses are you bringing down? Because I know all the kids are dying to get out of school on Friday.
Yeah, well, so this is my plea. If you are a Prince William County employee and have a CDL license, that's the thing right now is we have the buses. We have we can get the buses and all that. There's a driver shortage, and we're calling out. I'm calling people. Hey, do you have a CDL license? Do you have a CDL? Just trying to make it happen. But right now, I think we have a bus and a half of kids that are able to get down there. But it's different than I've been in there since I've been teaching at Battlefield, and there's more of a sense of a community right now. I think it's maybe because of COVID and people not having a lot of things to do for a year and a half, and it seems like everybody's really amped up about getting down there, and a lot of people are talking about driving. So I'm hoping to match the enthusiasm and the numbers that Hayfield will bring.
Hayfield's going to bring a crowd. Not only do they have a huge
I know they're
crowd,
coming. I know they're coming.
They have a long history of bringing enormous crowds to the state tournament.
Right. Well, and they've been open for decades longer than Battlefield has. So they're the alum and the sense of pride and community in that school is double, triple of the alumni that Battlefield has. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a special environment, and you do the best you can, but obviously it's still going to come down to basketball.
Correct.
Coach Carlos said you guys did play in summer at a team camp this summer.
Yep.
You played them a few years ago, and you beat them in the state quarterfinals, I believe.
State quarterfinals, yeah. That was at Garfield. We had to switch it from Patriot because Patriot had a power outage that day, so we had to scramble and find a gym because we were at a neutral site, and so I was trying to make them drive across Prince William County, and then it ended up being us driving across Prince William County. So here we are.
Well, that's what you get. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. So what do you obviously Hayfield is a excellent team.
Right.
What do you think are the keys to victory going in?
I mean, I've watched probably 3 films now. And I think, their speed and athleticism is what's gotten them to be 31-0. They do a really good job of scrambling. They do a really good job of getting into passing lanes. They do a really good job of poking that ball out if you're relaxing when you're dribbling the basketball. So that's been our focus. Or today in practice, and then again tomorrow in practice. To make sure that we're confident with the basketball and we don't hide.
Coach Carlos compared you guys to Wisconsin, and a team I like very much the way they play. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
Yeah, I do. I think we grind out some wins. We play for each other. We're there. The help side defense. We got some shooters that can really stroke the ball if they give them space. So we're gonna try to create that space.
Yeah. Well, Coach, how many seniors do you have that play a lot for you?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. With Kyle. So 4 of them, this is their first year at varsity with me. So Bryce is a senior. Chase and Jonathan obviously came over. So this is technically their first year with me. So, they have 3 years at Patriot program, trying to figure out where we can use them with us and building that relationship very quickly. And then we have 2 kids that played freshman and JV for us, but because of COVID last year didn't play. So this is technically their first year. And Cameron Lee and Kyle Zambrana, they all play a role. It's just what do we need at that particular moment in time. My assistants are fantastic at figuring out what it is that we need. I tell them, okay, hey, we need this, and they have that guy ready to go. And that's kind of how we've done things throughout this entire year. We got 10 guys that we can rotate through depending on the need at that particular moment, and the guys have bought in, and the guys do a fantastic job. It's, it might be your time, and then next game it might not be, and then the following game it might be. So, and they really, 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 really play for each other. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting because it doesn't happen very much in basketball win or lose, your season's over. Generally in basketball, your season's over when you lose a game. It's very rare that you win a game and your season's over. And so either way, the season's over. So come Saturday morning, there's no more basketball for, with summer, spring leagues and all that stuff for probably 2 weeks.
Right.
So have you come to grips with the fact that this long season's almost over?
I have, and my wife and I were talking about it, and it's something that everybody is a part of, right? Like everybody is impacted, families are impacted too. But you always want to be playing in March, and if you make it to the final day, you just there is no tomorrow, and these kids have to understand that. Obviously, the underclassmen will be back here, but maybe not in the state tournament, but the seniors, this is their moment, and we're going to give it all and leave everything we got on the floor.
Yeah. Last question, Coach. I know you're busy. What do you think the legacy is of this season, the rivalry between Patriot, these growing schools, and also post-COVID, where people are dying for entertainment and local sports? Do you think this incredible rivalry that you guys have, and the fact that you guys were able to turn the tables after 4 straight losses, this will have a effect on basketball in Prince William County? Absolutely.
I mean, we've started this rivalry when I first got here, and what Sherman has done over there in his 6 years that he's been there has turned a program that was not a good program at the time as far as wins, losses are concerned, and he's turned that around. And I actually emailed him yesterday morning just to let him know that the appreciation for the rivalry, and I had one when I was growing up, and trying to find that as a coach so that your players can have that rivalry and that excitement that comes in with at least 2 games out of the year. I look forward to many more battles with him at Patriot.
Yeah, and I look forward to getting back out there. Again, it's 45, 50 minutes, but it's amazing. Again, I didn't see your game the other night, and not to complain again, I can't believe there's not a way we could have watched both games. But the game I saw with Potomac was so amazing, in the environment out there. They really love basketball there, and they really know how to support their teams. We've had great crowds up here as well, but it's a different animal out there.
Yeah, I mean, when we played South Lakes, it was the first week of the season, and they were full force, and I'm like, all right, I got to get my guys prepared for that, because that's going to happen. So it's definitely nice to see more and more throughout. You watch on NFHS and you see the crowds and you hear the noise. It's awesome, because there was a little bit of a lull for a little while, and now that it's coming back, let's enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, look, Coach, thanks again for doing this. You've been such a great sport, and man, you pulled off an amazing upset. I like to take credit for it. Maybe the interview gave you guys some good luck.
Well, it was the you weren't sure who the Battlefield coach was, so I was like, all right, well, I got to reach out and see what's going on.
Well, then when you reached out to me, I didn't know which coach you could have. I didn't know it was that coach. It was just so. And I had it had been a long day of. I think I had 3 or 4 podcasts that day, so I wasn't thinking, but I'm so glad you did. It made me really appreciate what you guys accomplished the other day. And as much as I like Coach Sherman, I wish you the best of luck, Coach Carlos. He's got a great team, and if you could beat that team, you're going to be well deserving. Beating Patriot and beating Hayfield would make you a well deserving state champ.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'll look forward to meeting you down there. In person?
Exactly. I'll come by and say hi.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be part of it. And again, I just wish you guys best of luck.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, Coach, you too, man.
Bye-bye.
No, bye-bye.